yo, 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 yo. And then I said it like, ooh, ah, chica. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa, like, yeah. Or let me hear you say, yeah. Hey, yo, cause we superheroes, you know, we ain't worried about no Super Bowl, so let's go, like, yeah. I want it do, like, yeah. All right, I'm a little jacked up on Mountain Dew this morning, but what's going on, everybody? You already know what time it is. It's time to talk blurred chat, nerd chat, black nerd talk all day, and it's your boy, the real Vince Taylor, live in effect in the on the mic. I need to write, like a script for this portion. But anyway, we'll start working on that. And today we got enough to talk about. Can you believe that Sonic has opened up a whole Sonic verse? And now instead of just Mr. Sonic himself starring in the movie, we got the black member of the Sonic verse, Knuckles, coming on into the chat. And y'all know he black, because you know who does his voice? Ain't none other than Mr. Idris Elba himself. And so we definitely gonna talk about that. Let's wrap. We also have some more news in the house. It looks like Mr. Blue Beetle is going to be showing up in some of them James Gunn movies. Hallelujah. Is it good or bad? Do we care? I don't know. We're going to talk about it. Guess who else is getting the movie? Mando and Grogu, your favorite father and son duo, is going to be showing up in the movie theater sometime, I guess, in 2026. Let's talk about it. Do we really want that to be exposed to the movie theaters, or do we need 10 episodes to make it good? Let's discuss. Oh my God, have you heard about American Fiction? This movie right here is hitting it in the black community, and we definitely want to talk about it because there's a lot of subjects discussed on this movie that we don't talk about too tough. Let's discuss. Halo dropped this week, everybody. For those of y'all Xbox lovers like my man Omar, who loves Xbox. This dropped this week. Did you get a chance to check out the premiere episode? If not, who knows? Let's discuss it. As always, y'all already know it is Black History Month, so we got to talk about some of our favorite black characters out there, and maybe even, who knows, we might talk about some of our favorite black movies today as well, or some of the ones maybe that some of us have seen and maybe some of us have not seen. Can you believe that there's mandatory black movies that some people still have yet to see? We must discuss what these are. Also, Ryan Coogler and MBJ have been greenlit for their own project with Warner Brothers. What's that going to be about? I have no idea, but I'm interested and I'm eager to see what it's talking about. But for right now, it is me, your boy, the real Vince Taylor. Shout out to you, everybody watching on Snap. Wait, are we on Snapchat? No. On YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. If you're on Instagram, we're only there for an hour, so move on over to YouTube. Facebook and everything else, Twitter, Twitch, and all of that, and listening on iHeart and Spotify and all that other stuff. I am joined by none other than the lovely Nalia in the house. We've got Omar in the house. We got Steph in the house. We got Talim in the house. We got it's Yazzie in the house, the soon-to-be wed Yazzie. We all here live. We may even be joined by some other folks, but for right now, it's us. But let us know who it is. Kick it to us, Ethan. Who we
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except now I ain't got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass lizard with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
All righty, good morning, everybody. And we start this morning with the news that just dropped. Yes, Knuckles of Sonic the Hedgehog fame will be getting his own show on Amazon Prime after being one of the members of the cast in Sonic 2. It looks like he's going to be making some waves, and I just want to go ahead and put this up, and I'm going to take it down. But as I take it down, if you could just put your hand up in the air, or give me a thumbs up if you're excited about this, thumbs down if you ain't caring about it, and give me a meh if lukewarm. You could go either way. I'm going to pull it down in 3, 2, 1. Okay. We got some jazz hands and we got some fans. Okay, cool. Let's start with Bad Ty. Bad Ty, you were one of the ones that was real excited about this, bro. Like, evidently, according to what you put in there, or at least some of your family members are. What makes you so thumbs up about this, bro?
My son in particular is a huge Sonic fan. I mean, he sits here and draws pictures of Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and whoever else is part of that universe, Dr. Robotnik, all day long, and he's been doing it since he was like 3, and that's no joke. And so he's got it down pat pretty much. So I've become a huge Sonic fan, by proximity.
Okay. And it looks like you're not the only one, Nolly. You geeked. Oh, wait. Nolly, you were kind of geeked up about it as well. I saw 2 thumbs up.
First of
What made
all,
you so excited?
based on Nuck If You Buck alone,
Mhm.
they gonna get this viewership, okay?
All right, so for those that don't know what you're talking about, talk about what the Nuck in the Bucket and all that's about.
If y'all don't know what Nuck If You Buck is, you're too young for me. About to call AARP and sign up because whew. But they're using it as the theme song, which is I just know a millennial made that decision, and I just want to say thank you for your hard work, and I hope you get the raise that you deserve, and your performance review goes great.
Yes, and shout out to Nolly. Shout out to the comments as well, Lisa. Minnie, we see y'all out there, man. What's going on? Blevins, what's up, Naris? Everybody that's pulling up. Larry, I got Larry, appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, but it is interesting how the Nuck If Your Buck is being used for the promotion now. I see that the other side of the screen. Well, Yaz, you're also excited. What? Yaz, you're a Sonic fan too?
Yeah, I mean the movies weren't like bad, you know what I'm saying? Like they were just like more kid based, you know what I'm saying? So like, watching it with the mindset, of being a kid, they're actually really good. And like, I don't know, I was intrigued to the whole movie. I didn't like look at my phone or anything like that when I watched both of the movies. So I'm excited to see Idris Elba, because I was excited when Knuckles popped up in the end of the second movie. So, and
Right.
like Ollie said, us millennials, Nuck If You Buck was a fucking classic. So if you don't know, shame on you. And if you do know, you better pull up. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, how the fuck dare you not know? If you ain't ever got hit in the jaw at the club when Crime Mob came on, then you ain't a real nigga as far as I'm concerned. Like I remember I got knocked in the jaw at the club. I had to get it rewired. That's a whole nother story. Side note. Anyway, but Steph, not so much of a fan of Sonic the Universe.
Well, I've
Not
never
really.
been knocked in the jaw in the club, so I'm questioning my blackness now.
I was from different shit back
But
then.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of neutral about Knuckles. I mean, I recognize the voice immediately. First when I was like, that's Idris. Okay, cool, it's fine. I will say there are a lot of missed opportunities in the media. You'll see a trailer or something will happen. You're like, oh, they should have done this. But right now, all hits, no misses with that music. So I have to give them that credit for choosing the perfect song. Really, that was the only song that could have gone with the trailer and not been a huge disappointment. I'll probably see it because my son is a fan. But personally, I really am just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Omar? Not really into the Sonic verse stuff, or just maybe you haven't even discovered it yet.
Oh no, I love Knuckles. Knuckles was great. And ever since I knew it was gonna be a thing because ever since the second one, when Wicky's wife was his wife was like, oh, she's black, and she's like, I really like it that Sonic has friends, especially I really love the red one. I was like, of course, I'm fucking course, yeah. There's your cosign right there. Oh, like it's just, and he just plays them like incredibly great too. And he's like, I love how like direct he is and how very literal he is too. Knuckles is just a great character, so it's nice seeing him get his own little limited series.
The only thing I think since I haven't seen it, I don't know. Does Knuckles have a Jamaican accent? Because
No,
if not,
no.
there's a missed opportunity there. I feel like Knuckles should be y'all what dread. Y'all say something because I mean, there's some
hella British.
He's British.
He's British. Oh, he's British. So
British.
it's like he's more like
It's his natural voice.
it's like Top Boy. He's Top Boy.
Yes, he's top,
he's
top
Sully.
boy. Yes, he's top boy. Yes.
Hey, yo, get the food, bruv. Get
With
the
the
food,
food.
bro.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll definitely be looking out
Say less.
for. We'll be looking out for Knuckles, man. I'm really geeked up, and I think the other exciting thing is that this expands the Sonic universe. The Sonic now has 2 successful movies. I think that we can owe some of that success to Jim Carrey and his hilarious depiction of Dr. Robotnik. but now he's moving to streaming service. So this is going to be on Amazon Prime. I believe 6 episodes of Knuckles is coming your way. So we will keep you updated on this as we get more developments. Now, since it is Black History Month, I have to do my just due and give my shout out to our favorite Black character for the day, as this is going to be a running segment for this month. As you all know, we're Black, or at least mixed with it for our Latinos on the panel. And so, yeah, I would like to take this moment just to shout out some of the favorite Black characters we've been able to kind of take it back, just enjoy over the years. So a couple honorable mentions just to kind of get this whole segment started. Obviously, we all South Park fans are familiar with Tolkien. For those of y'all that thought it was Tolkien, you might want to go back and rewatch the seasons. But yeah, we familiar with Tolkien. So shout out to South Park and Tolkien. Also, for those of y'all that watch cartoons coming up, Gerald from Hey Arnold. Definitely one of the dudes to come through with the high top fade, man, out there in the hood representing with all of these white dudes, these badass little kids running the streets in the Hey Arnold verse. But today, I would like to dedicate my time to give flowers to the one and only, if I'm not mistaken, for those of y'all who are familiar with Nickelodeon and who did watch Nicktoons back in the day, then you may know a little girl by the name of Susie Carmichael.
Nice.
Now, why Susie Carmichael? Well, for all of y'all who are fans of the Rugrats, you know that there was this badass little heifer named Angelica who used to come around and talk shit to the little babies. Well, Miss Susie Carmichael, voiced by the illustrious Freddie, Cree Summer. I called her Freddie. That's what I know her as Freddie. Was the only one to not take no shit from this chick. She was like, look, I ain't fooled by your little Karen act, Angelica. I know how you be acting one way around the adults and a different way around the babies. And one thing you ain't gonna do is get me all mixed up in your little bullshit and shenanigans, goddammit. So this one right here is for the one and only Susie Carmichael, who held it down as the young Black queen on the Rugrats when Nicktoons was popping. And I'm assuming that Nolly, Steph, Yaz, you all are familiar with Miss Susie Carmichael. Am I not mistaken? Yaz, do you remember seeing Susie Carmichael back in the day and Steph afterwards?
Oh yeah, I loved how she just always put Angelica in her place, and didn't take no shit from her. That was always my favorite character in Rugrats, like hands down.
Yeah, mine too. What about you, Steph? You remember Susie Carmichael?
Oh, I was huge on Rugrats. I had a Rugrats themed 13th birthday party, not 8th or 9th, 13th, guys. Angelica always has actually been my favorite because she's a bad bitch and she takes no prisoners, and I love that about her. But I also, of course, appreciate Susie because she's a strong Black woman that don't need no help. And I'm a fan of both. I've cosplayed Susie. I appreciate her a lot. And they had a Kwanzaa special. Like, Susie brought Black culture into the world of the Rugrats beyond just being Angelica's foil. She really, her family, her mom was a doctor. I forget what her dad did, but he was some kind of professional too. They were really a great example, I think, of representation of diverse kinds of Black folks in cartoons.
The dad was a cartoonist, I believe.
Was it a cartoonist?
Yes.
It was a cartoonist because Tommy's dad kept like bothering him about like these certain things. He didn't want to talk about it. Then he was like, I don't want to fucking talk about this. You
remember Susie Carmichael too, Omar?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean to check you, but I was.
No.
He was like, yeah, nigga, what the fuck?
No, I was already pulling my hair. Yeah, dude, he was great.
What were your recollections?
I think of her mom as well. Like, her mom was, I guess she did the soft parenting because then Susie was running after them. She's like, that's my fault. She's like, her mom was like, that's not the way you get things, Susie. You gotta stand for him crying is not going to get you there. And then she was crying after it. And then as soon as she saw Tommy, and that's why, oh, hey guys, how you doing? My name's Steve. It was like that switch, that instant switch, and how she was introduced. So cute.
Yeah, man. Susie, I mean, a moment, because let's keep it real. When the Rugrats first came on, Susie wasn't around. It wasn't like she was in like the first season heavily. And as they started to progress, you start seeing more of her. And I loved the fact that they knew to not make her one of them sucker duck kids and made her the dominant force. Whenever she came in the room, it was so microcosmic of what actually goes on in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can imagine like Angelica being like the manager, but then the boss lady you know what I'm saying, enters the room, the GM, and it's like, who the fuck you talking to like this? And why are you giving these people a hard time for coming back 2 minutes late from brunch? So shout out to Susie Carmichael, our honorary recipient of today's flowers for Black characters. But not to be outdone, not the only Black character out there. As of right now, there is a hot movie on the press. For those of y'all that don't know,
Vince, hold up. Vince, Nolly doing something.
Can we
my bad, Nolly.
Can we big up her voice actress? Because Cree Summers gave us our childhood.
Yeah, for real.
Hell yeah, we can pick it up. You know, and I'm glad you said that, Nolly.
Our whole childhood.
I'm glad not only and because you know, Cree was, you know, different world. That's listen.
That's a different world, like Cree Summers.
But I'm glad you said that, because I would like to announce today that Cree Summer will be on our show. I mean, I haven't talked to her yet. I mean, I haven't made any headway or nothing, but I'm pretty confident that's gonna happen.
Speaking it into existence. Here we go.
Use manifesting. See, this is how people get cease and desist letters. So let's be clear. What's interesting is that we would love to have Cree Summer on our show. We invite you on our show and would be delighted were you to accept.
Okay, yeah. So these are just jokes, but yes, Cree Summer. I look forward to hopefully making some headway. I honestly think that it's probably possible that we may be able to get make some contact with Cree Summer. But just speaking it into existence, since we are still in the first 2 months of the year, shout out to Cree Summer and providing that voice for the lovely young Susie Carmichael, who was a bright young Black woman. And in the world of bright Black people, we now have a movie that spotlights bright Black people. This movie, I believe, for those of y'all who haven't heard of it, is called American Fiction. American Fiction is an interesting tale. Not to give spoilers, but to maybe delve into it a little bit. One of my favorite characters, those of y'all who do follow comic book movies, like, I don't know, the Batman recognized Mr. Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon from the most recent Batman. But if you go way back, he was Mr. Peoples back from Shaft. And I think that this movie speaks on some of the complexities that most Black people, or even just authors in general, have to deal with. Now, I think two of us on this panel have had a chance to see it, Ty and Omar, and I'm curious as to your thoughts on it. And also, Omar, as an author, co-author, whatever you want to call. Now you're an author. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck. You're a goddamn author. I'm interested as to how this movie, when you watch it, how it fits reality as it pertains to the author's mindset. So, Ty, if you could give us real quickly, let Omar kind of gather his thoughts, your thoughts on the movie, and then Omar, I'm definitely interested in hearing from you, bro.
I love the movie. This is actually a movie that we've been asking for and didn't really realize that we've been asking for. But it was a much needed movie. Jeffrey Wright's performance is, as always, very, very good. Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
There's also a surprise. I would say a surprise because you haven't seen her in a lot of feature films. And she needs to be. But I won't divulge who that individual is. We'll just say she's a 90s kind of girl.
Oh yeah.
And like that, Omar. Yeah. But overall, just as a piece of good writing, this was written very, very well, acted and portrayed very, very well. And I just want to put this out there. When I went to the movies, it was 99% white. I was the only person in the movie that was a person of color. And when you see this movie, that will make a lot of sense. So I'll just say right now, it is one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Nice. Omar?
I put this in the same level as Book of Clarence. I was just surprised by it. And like, oh yeah, I think I like movies where like, oh yeah, this is a comedy. I'm like, they got some heavy shit going in this comedy, man. Yeah, there's elements that are comedic, but like a lot of it's real and heavy, which is it's so that shit's so fucking good. And it's so surprising. And it has elements of like kiss, kiss, bang, bang with the way they play with certain things. for the whole issue it being that, like, he's a writer and his shit's struggling a bit. He's a very good writer, but like his books aren't selling. So then Issa Rae is a character and she's writing a character and they're like speaking like, I bees down by the shore and then the sun hits my monkey, like shit like that. And that's selling. So then he does it as a joke and then that shit starts selling. And now he's kind of having to like live this lie and also this inner struggle with himself, right? And so like from like an author's perspective, like, I mean, that's any creative's perspective, is like, damn, I'm doing this. I feel my shit is good here. I'm doing shit I know it's good. My editor says this shit is good. It's good. It's not selling. However, I dumbed this shit down, and then okay, yeah, like, oh yeah, then that's selling. And there's a great example. There's a great example in the movie where there are these three liquors, right? One is cheap and available to everybody. One's a little more expensive. Not that it tastes a little better. And then one's more expensive. A lot of people don't buy the most expensive one, which is the best one, but a lot of people buy the cheaper one and everything like that. They're all under the same label though. So it doesn't make it any doesn't make it any less. Like you make this you make this start up here and you make it down here. Like it's still the same person, still going the same money. And I'm like, that's a really good way of looking at it too. But then there's some people that don't I don't want to compromise my art. I'm going out like this. So it's a good representation of that struggle of maintaining a line. Like, okay, if I enjoy what I'm writing, but this shit ain't paying bills and the shit ain't selling, what do I have to change about myself, or how, what I mean? So that was it was a good representation of that constant struggle of like you can write good, but like what does it matter if you're not bringing people in? And then like having to deal with, okay, the writing's not great, but it's bringing people in. What are you gonna do?
Wow. As an author, Omar, did you notice any parallels or any like any things that happened in the movie that maybe authors have not been able to really depict to non-authors? You know what I'm saying? Like, were there any moments that you saw you were like, bruh, like I be trying, you know what I'm saying? Or is this just like, was it just all fiction?
The easiest way to do it is going back into like slam poetry, man, where I'm like, someone's going up there and like, I'm like, this poem fucking sucks. But like the audience is eating it, like they're eating that shit up. But like, it doesn't matter what I think. The people are the judges, the people, right? So it doesn't matter if I feel it's not great or anything like that. And then I see someone go up there with this shit was written spectacularly and it doesn't score. I'm talking about slam poetry. So like, let's say it doesn't score as high as the thing that was ass, but like that is the way of the game. So that to me, that it immediately brings me right back there. Whereas sometimes like the best work won't be recognized, but I guess I always get these mixed up. It's subjective, right? Art is subjective, yes, yeah. Art's one of those things. It's either subjective or objective. It's one of those motherfuckers. But it's the simplest form. It is that where it's like, this is not great, but it's fucking moving. And sometimes it's moving because it's different. Like, well, everybody's talking about something heavy. This person's doing something different. Oh, maybe that's why they're gravitating toward that. So many different factors. But then there's a lot of times where it's like, nigga, you doing everything. You want me to throw you a cane so you can just add some shut to that jive there. But yeah, that's funny to me. But no, it's always different things. But that is art, man. That is the way of the world when they're being crowd creative.
Nolly, this is a movie about a book writer, and you're a book reader. Do you ever find yourself reading a book and you feel like an author is trying to speak in a language that's not their own? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Every time a palm-colored author writes Black characters in young adults.
Do you have any examples you could cite, like off the top of your head, where
No,
I know
but
it?
they'll try and give them some exotic names, and then they're all described the same: deep olive or darkest midnight with hair like yarn. Like, you couldn't pick up a thesaurus or Google some other synonyms or something to come. You couldn't find a Black person to be your friend for 5 minutes so that you could write this book.
I'm curious about Steph, but what's up, Ty?
Nah. The fact that Nolly just mentioned that there is a place within the movie that spotlights exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the midst of trying to write something and you're trying to find these words to be descriptive, and then you like, I think American fiction breaks down that the reader is childlike, so you want to give them the simplistic form of writing that is easily digested. And so when you're trying to come up with with Jeffrey Wright's character being a cerebral author and being one of those people that writes good, actual good content, he's usually thinking of, big words and, stuff like that to use. And there's a scene where he's talking to his publisher, and like he's like, yeah, I'm writing all this good stuff, I do good stuff. He's like, yeah, but it's not selling. And then after he sees a particular author's work, and then it's very, very simplistic and people are just eating it up, he comes to that realization, like, oh, let me try this too. And when he goes to try it, and he's in that mode of trying to dumb down what he usually writes, that's when you get into those situations where you're describing Black people, and you're like trying to find the most simplistic way to describe it, but also in a way that will allure the reader, will bring the reader in. So again, this movie is a great movie. It does not just focus on books. This actually is more talking about the writing of, say, a movie producer, or not a movie producer, but a person who writes movie scripts, because this is the same type of what am I looking for, Omar, where it's because this is like conveyed, the message that's being conveyed is not just in the literary term. It is also in what we see in a lot of the movies that we and television shows that we watch. The portrayal of us, the way that Black characters are always matched up with people of the opposite race. And they touch on all of these things, but in such a subtle way, where it's just like somebody might throw in a quick comment, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, it's funny, but there's a lot of truth to what they're saying in that moment. So you're like, yo, I love that. And because anybody who's ever had any issues with writing and movies and everything like that, this will speak to you. This will definitely speak to you, because you'll be like, all right, I'm glad somebody addressed this. I'm glad somebody addressed that. I'm glad somebody did that. Yeah. So.
You agree, Omar?
Yeah, Ty nailed it.
Okay, awesome. Steph, do you have books that kind of give you that same feeling before we move on? Kind of like with Nali, like you could tell when somebody's not of the cloth and they're trying to speak of the cloth.
Yeah, The Help is the most obvious one that comes to mind immediately. But many instances of white folks trying to tell Black stories, both fictional and real ones. Not a thing that I think should be happening. Representation is important, but I think also representation by people who actually represent the cultures they are trying to represent is important. So honestly, American Fiction sounds like an amazing movie. I'm probably going to be in love with it. As an artist, I have a weird thing with pieces of work that I feel like I should have created, that I know watching it, this is so good. Why didn't I do it? And I know I'm going to feel that way, that like I'm going to love it, but I'm also going to hate that it's not mine. So I have to get over myself and watch it. But I'm sure it is phenomenal. I just have to get out of my head because, the struggle.
Yo, listen, you just touched on something from an artist to another. I mean, from artists, especially as a stand-up comedian, like it is tough sometimes when you have a project or a joke or a punchline that you wish you had thought of but did not think of. I mean, in those instances, I think it's best, probably in the world of content creation too, as we got our homie Tiffy joining us as well. Sometimes you might see a post that pops up and you're like, yo, man, why I didn't think of doing that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that ever happens, but I just want to take a couple seconds and welcome to the panel, Miss Tiffy Star Child. How are you?
Hello, good morning.
You doing good? We were just talking about American Fiction and about how some of these movies, sometimes we feel like maybe some books don't have the voice of the characters that they're depicting, but more often, Steph just mentioned a good point. Like sometimes it's hard to watch a project you wish you came up with. Does that ever happen to you? Like you ever see like other content creators or stuff like that come up with something that you know what? That's a good idea. I wish I could. Or are you mad at people always seeing that's what you're doing and they take it from you? You know what I'm saying?
I get some of both of it. Like there are definitely ideas, and people that know me know that I've like I've had this idea called the Enchanted Kitchen Project for years. And like, I have the receipts to show that I've been working on it for years. And the idea was that you would just have a curated menu to go along with the movie, which, as we know now, is very popular. So to know that I've been holding on to that idea for like 4 years and now is like this big popping thing, that's very frustrating. And then we discussed it before. Sometimes my work just gets outright taken. People talk about villains in a way that they did not before. They try to pull all these villain things, and sometimes they tag me, and sometimes
that's they tag you in your idea.
Sometimes they tag me fucking wild. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Oh, so good.
Steph, what did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I was saying villain PR TV series is absolutely one of those things that I was like, oh, so good. Why didn't I think of it? But I love it, and I'm glad she's doing it. But I wish I thought of something that good. Same with Mel Mitchell does the black character in movies and shows. That's another one that I'm like, I love it. I can't get enough. I watch them all, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, I wish I thought of that. But just like, so good. Like, you have to give the props for the things that are brilliant and people are doing perfectly. And it's like, eventually you'll find your thing.
The only real difficult part is when you see someone do it and you're just like, I could do it better. And you're like, I won't, but like,
And that's one thing I will say about the Mel Mitchell characters and Tiffany's villain PR. I watch it and I'm like, okay, but the right person is doing it. They crushed it. They killed that. So there's no feeling of like, if I'd done it, it would be better. It's just like, damn, I wish I thought of it, but the right person is doing it. So I can get over it.
I don't get over it.
I love the content creator community that we have as Blurds, and I think it's like an unveiling. Like, I didn't realize I was walking into it until we started doing this project. But to kind of in the spirit of keeping things moving, it is Black History Month. And American Fiction is a movie that stars a lot of prominent Black characters. I haven't had a chance to see it, but it sounds like two of our prominent panelists are definitely recommending that we get out there and see it. But we got two thumbs up coming from Ty. But those ain't the only movies that star Black people. Like, there's a list that just was recently published of Black movies that I'm curious as to whether or not, because listen, let's keep it real. We don't all see every single Black movie. You know what I'm saying? I may or may not have never or seen Color Purple. Who knows? And maybe everybody here hasn't seen New Jersey Drive. I don't know. But I'm just curious about which one of these movies we have or have not seen. So what I'm gonna do, and listen, by the way, it doesn't make you more or less Black to have seen these movies. That's not the conversation.
Not according to the internet.
Well, listen, I don't know if this has ever happened to any of y'all or not, but if it has, this could happen this very morning.
Kind of like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. Oh, I've never seen it. Ricky! Yeah, I know the meme, but I never seen the movie. You ever seen Friday? I haven't seen it. Best Man? No. Menace to Society? No, I haven't seen that either. Hey, bro, these are just movies. You know that, right? I'm gonna hold on to this. Give it back. Forever.
So I got a feeling there might be that my man might not be the only one who's never seen every single movie, and you don't have to. It's cool. I was talking to my wife. She's like, I've never seen Menace to Society. I was like, what? And I married you. So I'm just curious to what movies we may or not have seen. So I'm gonna run down this list hella quick, and I just want you to raise your hand if you've seen it and keep it down if you ain't. Hella quick. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the top 50. I am going to put on the screen the first one. What's going on? What I missed?
Go.
Are you ready? Oh, it's Tiffany. Okay. All right, BM. Number 1, Dead Presidents. I'm going to take this down right now. Hand up if you've seen it. Hand up if you ain't.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh,
go. No dead press. Okay, all right.
We're going fast.
Next movie. You said you had 50.
49 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep it rolling.
Ten.
Okay, all right. We'll keep it moving. We'll just keep it moving there. All right, next movie up is 12 Years a Slave.
All right.
All right, hands up, coming down in 3, 2, 1. No.
No.
We'll keep moving. No questions.
Go.
No questions. No judgment. Let's keep it moving. All right. Straight Outta Compton. Hands up if you seen it. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Straight Outta Compton. Okay, everybody. I hope somebody's taking notes. All right, taking notes. All right, next movie coming up. We got list. We're down to number 47. We might not have time to get through all these, but we're gonna go ahead and
Go.
This one, I can give it. This one's okay. Why did I get married? All right, I'm gonna take this on 3, 2, 1.
Oh, y'all watch that one.
I will watch the rom-coms. Also, I love Britney. Why are we trying to publicly expose people? And also, I don't watch slavery films either.
Public exposure. I mean, we all exposed, man. I mean, it's not a test. It's just a test of curiosity.
It feels like a test that I didn't study.
Maybe one of these days we can watch. You know, we can do a watch party for the movies we didn't see. What's up, Omar?
I think because like it's in saying like these mandatory black movies, it also like gives reference to like the black card. So like if you didn't see these things, like your black card's taken away. Even though that's not, we're saying it's fine, whatnot. However, everyone says you didn't see this, your black card gets taken away. The way I always viewed the black card is like a skill tree. Okay, I didn't see this thing, but I saw this. Everybody builds their skill tree differently, so it's not something that can ever really be taken away from you. It's like because it's just like the skill tree is differently. It's like a punch card.
Okay.
That makes the blow better.
It makes sense. Well, I for one, I want to go on record and say this is not about your black card. Card. This is just about just a matter of curiosity. It's just a couple more here. I'm just a little bit curious about. But good point, Omar. Who all here has seen Barbershop? Taking us down in 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the first unanimous we have on the block. Let's go to the next one right here. This one, if you ain't seen it, I will take you off the screen. Who has not seen Coming to America? 3, 2, 1.
It wasn't judgmental.
What do you say, TP?
You go just to say it. It's not. I'm not going to judge. We're not taking away your skill. Haven't seen it. I'm taking you out of the coalition. Like you're still.
You can still keep your black card, but our friendship will again.
No, it is judgmental.
It's not judgment.
No, it is judgmental.
But shock and awe. It's kind of like the same thing with Spider-Man. Like, you ain't seen no Spider-Man. Okay, cool. What's the next thing on the list? All right.
It seems like we have generally all seen the comedies. Like there's a theme here.
I think the analysis is kicking. I like that, Steph.
I feel like we should end on one that we know we've all seen this one. I feel like this is a good one to just end on. We're still all right.
I like it. We'll go till we all are unanimous one more time.
We'll see how this goes. We have 40 more to go.
By the way, this list is 400 long. I started at 50. I didn't want to go through all of that. So maybe we'll do some more next week. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Who all has seen Remember the Titans? Let me pull this down in 3, 2, 1. This movie is so quotable. Sunshine, come on, give me a break. Ain't no mountain high. Shut your ass up. All right. Guess it's just me. Tupac fans, anybody here seen Above the Rim? Coming down in 3, 2, 1. All right, Above the Rim. All right, no more. Hey, look, I think Steph is starting to make a lot of sense here with that. All right, this one, I'm curious. All right, who all here has seen Daddy's Little Girls? Coming down to 3, 2, 1. I have not seen Daddy's Little Girls. All right. Look, man, we should have definitely took notes. We may have to do that next week. We'll see what's going on. This one, I am not going to lie. This one makes my heart smile. Who has seen Love Jones? Come on. Down in 3, 2, 1. Woo! I'm not going to lie. I'm a little shocked, Omar. It's a poetic.
You see, just everyone being a judge. I'm happy. I'm not happy. The poet didn't see it. I did not. I have not seen it. Also, that came out in what, 1996, 98?
Something like that. Yeah.
I was in like 8th grade. So time does play effect on these things as well.
I'm gonna add the poetry is quotable, it's classic, but let's be honest, it's not that great. He's not a fantastic poet.
Does it hold up today? Does it hold up today?
I'm sorry. He's fine. He's fine, and it's nice to watch him on stage. But like lyrically,
Tell them. Tell them.
bars.
Tell them.
Hey, Gator, can I be your slave? So your slave play, you're starting it off weird.
Look at it. Look at it.
I'm uncomfortable now. You're cute,
Thank
but
you.
I don't like where this is going. You're digging me like a grave. Like I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
The
All right.
groove in my left and the funk in my right, whatever it is. I just remember hearing the poem and thinking, "You're attractive, but these words are not sexy." And
I feel like that going on dates and someone wants to recite a poem or like rap a little bit. I'm like, oh, you don't have to show me your talent. You should just let that shine through naturally, organically. You don't have to share it with me at all.
You don't have to show me your talent, and I see you don't have any. I see there's nothing. You're showing me nothing. You're showing me nothing. You're showing me nothing.
Yes, girl, there was nothing.
Field, there are no flowers.
Go ahead, Omar. I'm sorry.
No, it was I was in what grade? I got into poetry around maybe ninth grade. I remember I turned to the girl, I was like, hey, do you like poetry? She's like, no. I was like, I shut the fuck up. I shut the fuck up. All right. I'm gonna be quiet. That's what niggas need to learn. Ask your question first. Hey, you want to hear me? You want to do like acoustic guitar? No. You know what I mean?
You gotta be so good at your craft in order to lead with that, because sometimes people drop their little poems into my DM. Like, the only thing I'm gonna do is critique it, sir. Don't critique.
You spelled "you're" wrong.
You spelled it wrong. I didn't ask for none of this. You didn't read the room. You didn't read the room.
What is the hell hooks line? You plagiarized too. What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
So can I ask Tiffy and Steph something? Like, so the whole announcing of your talent on a date or in the get to know you process, y'all don't like what if they are like you wouldn't like it if a dude like took you to the beach and y'all sitting there sipping wine at a bonfire, he whips out the guitar and starts
No.
I'm gonna push you around.
You ain't feeling that?
no. I have been serenaded. It's awkward. It's awkward.
I hate
Yes.
it.
Let me stop. I can too specific because that person might be watching the show. But if you have a talent you want to share, send me a reel. Let me process it in my own home and prepare my reaction to it.
Oh God!
I'll let you know. I would love to see you live, but don't hit me live the first time because I don't get my face shows what I'm thinking, and you might not need to know.
My face.
That's funny.
Show me the audition reel.
I'd be flinching. I'd be like, my lips trying to catch it in time.
Before the mountain, I dated a rapper.
Oof. SoundCloud.
Whoa, do tell. Was it Flow Rider?
Me up and played his own songs in the car.
Oh my God.
Every song he was working on, and I was like, baby, if you didn't sell the good weed, I don't think I would be entertained because Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, that's so good. It sounds like all the other ones, but it's
You gotta
great.
fucking encourage them. It's so good, babe. Look at you. You did this.
Oh my
You did this
God.
all by yourself. You did. Wow.
You did this all by yourself. What's
You
up?
did this or nothing. Wow.
My favorite, the inverse of that is more like you go to their show. My friend Josh told me this. He saw me perform. He was like, "Oh, thank God you didn't suck." Oh, like that's like your date's like, "Oh, you're good." Oh, thank God, this is gonna be so much worse if you fucking suck. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
That's
I
the
don't know.
thing.
I can't really speak on this matter because Austin's written like a lot of songs like about me.
Nice.
Like and they're not bad either. They're really good. But this is after we've been together for 6 years, you know what I'm saying? But I do agree with you, Stephanie. Getting serenaded, like, and not expecting it is fucking awkward. And it's like, it's angering because you're like, you fucking put me on the spot, and like you didn't even fucking like hit me up to like warn me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hella awkward, like because you're just supposed to be like smiling and you're not, and you're like, can it stop? You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's looking at you and you're like, can it stop? Like, can I you know what I'm saying? Then when it's done, you're like, I'm leaving because this is going to be even more fucking awkward to even talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not a good vibe for sure.
Ty, I know you.
Yeah.
Ty, I know you had something to say, but I want to ask Yaz real quick. And I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but if you can't answer, it's fine.
It's okay. What's up?
But has Austin ever written you a song that wasn't as good as he thought it was?
Oh, yeah.
And you had to.
Why would you ask that?
No, actually, no. Austin is like he's pretty fucking skilled with his lyrics. You know what I'm saying? He takes his time to like. You know what I'm saying? I don't have these stuff on my phone right now, but like I'll have him send me some stuff, and next time we'll play them live for you. We'll see reaction.
Okay, all right, that's what's up, man.
He's not a bad rapper either. That's what's funny about. Like, it doesn't even sound like it's.
Oh, man.
When you listen to him, you're like, that's Austin. Are you fucking serious right
Some
now?
of them white boys be hitting bars.
He be hitting bars, like, and he does
that
it
at
like
the wedding.
he switches it up. No, I don't think he'll be rapping at the wedding. We have way too much.
I know.
Way too much shit.
Oh,
To be like, your expectations are a
Hey,
little
now.
high. No, let's just have him focus on his vows for now. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, fuck all that, Yaz.
No.
Hey, yo, so Austin, do you have your vows? So yeah, like, yeah, I mean, yo, me and Yaz, we go back to the past. I smoke that like gas, and I'm gonna tag that ass. Oh yeah, baby girl. You know, I can just see it like right there. You're sitting there like,
He's not derogatory, really, though. That's what's funny about it. Like, you know, whenever it's like it's not really derogatory when it's about me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard to
When it's
describe.
about other bitches.
and the funny part is, like, you know, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I have to get you to listen to some of it, but I'll have him send me some stuff, and then we'll fuck around and you guys can find out. All right?
Okay. Oh shit, a fat boy on that ass. Ty, do you remember what you was gonna say? It was a little while ago.
Yeah, first of all, shame on you for trying to ruin a perfectly good engagement. Trying to trap Yaz up, asking her a question about her man's rap skills. You know, if she would have answered that different, we might not be pulling up in November. Nah, good shit. No, I have heard. I was
gonna say November.
April.
I thought it was in April.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, if you pull up in November, no one will be there.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. All right, so damn, you just told me.
As I thought. Yeah, he forgot. He's on the same week.
Nah.
It was a while. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I did. You did that.
Well. Yeah, I did forget totally. So
all right, well, we'll keep it moving. If you happen to remember, what's up, Steph?
While we talk about this shit, I do have to, because somebody's gonna watch this and be like, "Really, bitch? I be writing raps about men. I do. I write raps about men. I will write a rap about him, but I record it and I send it in a voicemail. I did do it live one time.
Good.
Many years ago.
Yo, on a date? Yo, okay. Pull up. Drop the bars.
Time ago. I would not do it again. I would not do that again.
Why not? Did it not work out the way you expected? Did he? How did it go? Can you reenact?
It was good. He was taken aback, and I was freshly divorced. I hadn't really been dating, and it felt at the time like a normal thing to do. And in retrospect, I'm like, girl, he does not like that about me to perform them live. That's weird. But I still write them. I just send them in a voice note now.
I really want to hear if you remember what that is. But before Ty forgets what he got to say, what's up, bro?
All right, so this is what was my initial question. So what if they're really good? Like that, like I'm hearing like a lot of, you know, like it'd be awkward if they. But what if the person sings or raps and they're like Drake or Usher or, you know what I mean, and you're like, I mean, does it still constitute as an awkward thing, or you're like, oh shit, this motherfucker might have potential?
It's still awkward.
It's still awkward.
It's awkward, but good for him.
Really?
I didn't say he couldn't smash after if it was good. I just said I would still leave because it would be awkward. You see what I'm saying? If I was single, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be weird. You know, like the whole thing is fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't think that there's a level of like, okay, this is acceptable. No, you're still like busting out in a song and like with the purpose of, if we're singing together and we're just singing a fun song, that's whatever. That's being spontaneous. That's in the moment. But if you are like serenading me and I'm just supposed to engage, that's not fun for me. You're not doing that for me. You're doing that for you because I didn't ask for that. And I gave no clue or indication that that is something that I wanted. So that's for you. So you can be great at it, but why am I involved? Why am I involved?
That part.
So impromptu is what y'all are saying. Like so
Yes.
no impromptu. No just all of a sudden we just driving down the street and I just decide to start singing some shit okay.
Oh no, but that's different. If we're just walking down the street and you bust out in song and it's not like with the purpose of me having to be tuned in and locked in and engaged. Just making a song I know because I'm gonna hit that harmony with you. That's a different vibe. That's what I'm talking about. Push you up. Then I can sing that with you because I know that song. But you serenading me or you doing a poem and I'm just supposed to take it in and do I clap? Do I do this number? I don't know.
In other words, ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. It's fine, but. Or Max Sale, that's a little too much. You do the whole song. You just gotta,
especially like if they're like trying to drop, in that low and that knee, you know what I'm saying, and sing it, and like hell no, I'm fucking out of here. I will walk.
Steph, what's up?
I had to unmute myself because I was typing in the chat. I was going to say, I just feel like this is a very timely Valentine's Day PSA. So viewers, especially men, I hope you're taking this away. If you want to confess your feelings for somebody, do not surprise serenade them. Okay, maybe write a beautiful poem, send a voice note or a reel. Don't surprise serenade. Y'all may not have got it, but we're letting you know we don't like it. We don't like that.
I have one quick question. One
last
question to cap this off. Now, what if instead of them pop up serenading you, what if they do kind of the Ron Burgundy Anchorman? I'm going to take you to a club. And then all of a sudden, out the blue, the guy on stage is like, "Hey, it's Will. Yo, you play the drums, won't you? Come on up." You're like, "Nah, come on, nah, I couldn't, not today. Come on, Will, get on up here, man." You're like, "All right, fine." But it's not serenading. You know what I'm saying? What if we learn that,
on stage and it's to the audience? Yeah, you're not serenading me.
Right.
So that's fine. You're performing for everybody, but I might go use the bathroom. So like you're not serenading
like drums killed my dad. I can't see this.
As long as I'm not held as a captive audience, because you ain't gonna I'm a free woman. You ain't gonna tell me what I can do in a moment. So
is that you feel the same, Steph, Nolly? Y'all like if it's more of a performance overall, not as bad. But if it's a sit and force me to listen to your mixtape,
why would you take me there knowing that this is what's gonna happen? Because you're obviously a regular. I'm just trying to get to know you. Why we couldn't, go for a walk, go to a bookstore or a cafe? Why you got to take me to your favorite dive bar where you play drums at every Thursday night? And they know you by name. They got a favorite drink for you. You got a bar tab. Why would you do that? Tiffy said it best. Captive audience. I'm not trying to be captive. I'm autistic as fucking socially awkward. I can't handle that. I'm sweating thinking about it. Why would you do that?
It makes me very uncomfortable. Like I'm like, oh, where's this game? You gonna come back? How was that? And I won't be there. I won't be there.
I'm glad you're good at it, but please don't.
Right?
Steph, were you about to say something?
If it's for the audience and I'm just there, like Tiffy said, that's cool. I can remove myself if I want. But if it's you get on stage and all right, this goes out to my girl Steph.
Oh God!
A crowd,
right?
No, kill me. Get me out of there.
No. Because what if you suck? Now they're associating me with you publicly.
I've seen it happen.
If he did that, if he was like, "This goes out to my girl Tiffy," and everyone turns around, I'm a
right.
Good for her.
Where's she at?
My name is Michelle. So.
Hey, can we?
Michelle.
I'm just picturing some dude getting off from killing it on stage, and he goes back to his seat. He's like, "Yo, you see my girl?" And it's like Tiffy is gone.
Michelle's in the bathroom. What do you mean?
She don't even know to nothing. She just.
I have on a completely different wig. It's like a blunt bob, and I'm just different hair, everything.
Yo, well, I think that's fascinating. Let me last thing is this? Can we safely say that this is a male trait? Because women don't. I mean, unless you're Steph, fresh after a divorce, women don't typically serenade or do these type of things with their men, right?
Maybe not for you, nigga.
Damn right. I ain't got Omar swag. I will say I wish I did, but I don't.
I get talented people, sir.
Look, I've had my fair share of the women's, and I've had my fair share of the awkward performances of things. And I mean, you know, of the theatrical kind, and I just.
All right. Okay. Enough said. Yes.
I feel like men serenade, and I feel like women perform. Do you see what I'm saying?
Ooh, that's
so like no matter, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter what the sex is, it's always going to be some type of like, you know, direct, you know what I'm saying, in contact. You know what I mean? It's like this is for you, baby. So when it's out in public, it's extra awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so make sure, you know, you're either married, you know what I'm saying, or like you're gonna propose to that person or some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like something, because it's weird. You know what I'm saying? And it creates like that tension. Like, why would you put someone in that awkward situation? Same thing with like women with a dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you're not in the quality of the dance that you're trying to perform, you know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing for the man. You know what I mean? He's got a, oh baby, that was so, you know what I'm saying? Like it's awkward. You know what I mean? Like it's just an awkward position all the way around. And same thing for, you know, same sex couples. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's weird. It's just super weird. It's very, in all context, it's weird. Just do it at home. Don't do it in public.
Well, I'm glad I heard this now, and I'm glad I never whipped out my alto sax to serenade anybody spontaneously. It'd probably be kind of hard to just carry that, you know, in your pocket anyway. But either way, one thing is not hard to carry in your pocket is snacks. You like that? How many points I get for that? How many points I get for that? That was a good one. That was a good one, right? That was good, right? I get points on that one.
2024 is the year of the segue.
And speaking of snacks, even though I was going to put this last movie, this was the last movie up. I was going to put that up, but just throwing that out there. I think most of us have probably seen Bodyguard, but I'm just going to get that out there so I don't have to bring it up next week.
I just want to point out the transitions are not the issue. They're very clever. You did a good job. You didn't trace that or nothing, but it's the fact that you make a transition and then you make sure you go back to the previous thing and then touch on it a couple times. You got to touch it and then I did a transition, but did you see the transition that I did? No, but you know that we're moving on to another way. We can just move on to the next subject and keep it pushing.
I cannot maintain a straight face when Tiffy moves close to the camera. Even in her videos, when Tiffy does one of these right here, like every time it's like crazy. It's like that's anyway. But yes, I know Vince's transitions.
Snacks.
Vince's transitions are crazy, but what we definitely could talk about is the snacks as snacks that we had when we were growing up. Tiffy, you were a fan of snacks growing up. Were any of these on this list? Any of the snacks that you had? Or if not, what were some of your favorite snacks growing up?
I think Gushers is a good one from this. Shut up. I knew it was
nasty on camera.
My problem with Gushers is that it's like, if you've ever had like a dumpling with too thick of a skin, if that makes sense, like literally a dumpling, yes. I feel like Gushers are the perfect little dumpling of fruit snack, but that skin is so thick. If it has a little less skin and a little bit more broth on the inside, that gummy broth, that gummy berry juice. I need a little bit more of that on the inside.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's not that.
Oh man.
Yo,
She was right though. It's like they used a toothpick to like push the hole for the jelly, and then like they filled it and then closed that shit up real thick. You know what I'm saying? She's got a fucking point.
Like, no, let it gush. I want it when I bite into it. I need to explode it. I want it to activate my gag reflex a little bit when it just catches me by surprise.
And there we are.
And we ready. Did you all pack these in your lunch, or did you eat them after school irresponsibly like I did and not have them for lunch? Like, how did that work for you? Like, Omar, Yaz, did y'all pack lunch growing up? Were you school lunch buyers? If you did pack lunch, did you pack snacks in your lunchbox? Did you have one of them lunch boxes? Just talk to me about your growing up experience with the snacks, bro.
I'm just gonna go with my favorite snack. My favorite snack was I like grapes, but we're going with fruit snacks. Fruit snacks, because those are different. You don't have those texture of fruit snacks anymore. And they're like, oh, like it was Great Sharks. Those were one, and then the Tiny Toons fruit snacks and Plucky Duck. I remember specifically Plucky Duck was green on one side and white on the other side, and then the Great Sharks had that white mystery shark in there as well with that flavoring. And it's not the same as fucking gummy bears. Fuck you, gummy bears, because those shits are resistant. There's no fucking give on those shits. These fruit snacks had to give, and they're so hard to find now. You gotta like fucking, it's a crapshoot now for them. Scooby-Doo and Justice League are the ones that have the most similar taste to the ones from back then. It's a different taste entirely. Welch's are all right, but it's not the fucking same. Welch's wants to be gushers, but they're not. There's no broth inside. It's all solid. It gives a bit. It's firm. It's firm on it, but like it's not. There's no broth inside. But like the good old, I miss those good old school not gushers. Those good old school fruit snacks, man. They're original fruit snacks. Fuck you, gummy bears. I fucking hate you, gummy bears. But I want the original fruit snacks back.
You can get that same fruit snack feeling from Tredarius Joseph.
Oh, Trader Joe's, yes. Yeah, you're right.
Tredarius Joseph, because he has and they're seasonal, but the Valentine's Day ones are the best. The gummies that they release at Valentine's Day give that perfect, that resistant, that tooth resistance as you're biting. It's perfect. I also, Vince, you didn't show the other picture before. You said from this picture. You didn't show the other two pictures because ravioli, Chef Boyardee. I'm telling you, oh my God, that ravioli, something about it. I don't know
hot sauce in mine.
Was it just the ravioli, Tiffy? Or was it just Chef Boyardee in general for me? Like anything they put out with the meatballs?
Not anything.
I like the SpaghettiOs or whatever the Chef Boyardee equivalent was. I know that there were some different brands. So I like the SpaghettiOs. I like the tinned spaghetti and meatball, but for some reason the ravioli, the little pocket, I think again, it's a little dumpling effect. I like dumpling and get a little ravioli and a little dumpling in its sauce, and that's just really cute to me.
What about, we're mentioning a lot of like artificial snack. Yeah. We didn't talk about Little Debbie's, Twinkies. We didn't talk about any of one of my favorite joints was
cookies.
Intimates, but mainly those Hostess. Okay, Nutty for me. My favorite snack probably of all time that I still to this day will go to the dollar store and get like the family pack and eat it to myself is Nutty Buddies. I eat Nutty Buddies. I eat it in a weird way, right? Like I take them apart and I eat each layer per layer. You know what I'm saying? And I eat each square. Like I eat every square on there. I'll be like, and I eat it like a little square.
I have seen this. I have literally seen this happen. He's not lying. I come up with the fucking part.
It takes me like 30 minutes. I sit there. I pick apart a Nutty Buddy like it's a goddamn puzzle, and I sit there and eat it like it's a whole, like a full course meal. And then I'll sit after I eat both of them because they come in pairs and open up a whole other pack. I will eat it all in front of you, bro. It's crazy. That's just me though. What's up,
Nutty
Tiffy?
Buddy? I didn't know until because I'm not familiar with Nutty Buddy, and I didn't know it was Nutty Buddy. I thought it was Nutty Buddy. I knew that y'all weren't talking about it, but I'm like, that can't be the name. Why would so foolishly name a snack that Nutty Buddy?
Yeah.
I would be interested.
Yeah.
I'm like, why a Nutty Buddy?
It's the 90s. It's the 90s, baby. That's marketing.
Yeah, man.
Kids will love
It's
it. Like that's,
yeah.
I'm like, why would they name it that?
Yeah,
But
Nutty
I
Buddy.
Googled it. I Googled
That's
it.
well. I mean, but those aren't alone. Like, I mean, even like the little candies. We used to like. I remember just standing in front of the aisle, looking at the cereals, the candies, everything, and just wanting every single little thing. Even like I used to go to when I was in St. Louis. We were my church was across the street from a candy shop. So we would leave during praise service, go over there and get Boston baked beans, Juji fruits, strawberry vests, and we would get red hot riplets. And then we'd sneak back in church and you make all that noise in our pocket. Sitting there trying to what's up, Ty?
I was just going to say this, and Omar might can attest to this because he's from Jersey as well. So in the mornings we used to go to the corner stores and we would buy candy, right? Because the candy was dumb cheap. And what you would do is you go to school. You like my book bag would be full of candy, and so you would go to school and you would sell that same candy at school. And in particular, Jolly Rancher sticks. Remember when the Jolly Rancher sticks came out? They would have all of the different flavors. We would go and buy up all of the Jolly Rancher sticks and sell them in school because they was like I think $0.25, and you sell them for like 50 cents. So you're making like a little bit of profit. You know what I mean? So, and the same thing was the thing with the blow pops. Remember the blow pops? Everybody was we would sell the blow pops for $0.25. You get them for like 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing my age now. But
nope, I did that shit too.
Yeah. But that was like when it came to candy. I wasn't a huge candy fan, but I was an entrepreneur. I was trying to
get
a
dealer. You were the candy dealer. Yeah, same here. I don't eat candy, but I love the shit out of it. Yes.
I was that guy.
I was the candy man. in school. They like, yo, you hope you holla at him. Yeah.
Nolly. Do you mean like just prepackaged snacks?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Because I grew up in the Bronx. And so we would go to the bodega and I would get the pickles from the deli jar. Okay.
Oh my God, the pickles.
Okay.
Oh yes, you were hood.
Pickles. I go to the Chinese spot and get French fries with hot sauce and ketchup. That was a good snack.
Not the hot sauce and ketchup.
The best snack. Okay, my little ho-hos. I love them little chocolate things. That was so good. The Spice Girls lollipops was the shit. Okay.
Wow.
What else? The little bazooka gums because
hard as fuck.
Yeah, the joints with they always had the comic books. The bazooka gum had the comics inside of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know
did y'all?
The Flintstone push pops, the ice cream.
Ice cream.
Oh, those are the best. I still go for them. I still will get a push pop to this day. But they don't sell them like that no more. Like
not anymore.
Grocery stores, you gotta find a grocery store that has, and they don't even taste the same. They don't taste the same.
They don't. They do not.
They were more. The texture was softer. They were softer and more smooth. Now you get them and they be hard and shit.
Yeah.
You like how you?
I wasn't allowed to have push pops because I got my tongue stuck inside the carton.
I have so many questions.
Oh.
How big is your tongue? What? How hard were you like just?
Okay.
How old? How old? How old?
But I can explain. No, but I would not.
Please.
Can you?
How old?
I said 19, but I was kidding. No, I probably was about 6 or 7 years old. And something about the way that, like, you push it up, and I don't know what I did. It wasn't stuck, but it did cut my tongue. Like something happened, and like, the edge of the
I got it.
thing that
okay, because the
I know I must have been going to work though. I was
You know what was my shit when I was
that tube? But
yes, you were saying something.
I said, you know what was my shit when I was kids? You remember those straws, like those white straw
pixie sticks?
Yes, the pixie sticks, but like the ones that used to like use for like cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I swear to God, like you literally you could find me with those all the time. And okay, so you remember the dip sticks?
Fun dip.
Fun dip. Oh my God, bro. Your mouth be so fucking blue. Your tongue be blue. You know what I'm saying? Look like you were just like eating a Smurf and shit. That was my shit. I swear to God. Like,
hold on. Wait 1 minute.
Sugar straws and the damn fucking
Yes.
Nolly, you got the gas in your purse, dog. That's
Nolly's got it on.
Wow.
Oh,
Hang
man.
on.
Oh my God. I've got two flavors.
Oh,
Oh, look at
Yo,
that.
I want to sit next to Nolly during church.
and then you remember the Sour Patch straws in the little containers that they used to sell when we were kids?
Hell
Remember
yeah.
like the small ones? Bro, I had those at like softball. I swear to God, you found me in the fucking dugout, straw in my mouth, just chewing that shit. Hanging out my mouth, I swear.
Can you believe like we really did get those little candy cigarettes and thought we was cool as hell?
Oh,
We would wait till it was cold, right? We would wait till it was cold so that you could like blow and you can see your breath.
Yes. I'm telling you.
We
And that should
had
be
big
somebody's
league
big-
chew, like we had chewing tobacco.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah, just the glamorification of
tobacco
drugs.
products.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Let's bring it back.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that was.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
What a
Vape
time
before
to be
vape.
alive.
Candy cigarettes taste like chalk.
Yeah, and it was
They weren't
nasty.
even good.
They were
weren't
nasty.
even
They weren't
good.
even good. They were disgusting.
Authentic. That's the authentic feels. Not funny.
But they start you early though. Next thing you know, you 16 years later, you got a box of Newports and shit. You stuck on this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you started in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? And remember, like you go in there asking for like a you know how you looking for a Lucy, and you're like 8. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, let me get a Lucy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you talking about? Can I see your ID? Anyway, yeah, man, that shit was crazy, man. That shit, Gobstoppers, Jolly Ranchers, get the fuck out of here, Jolly Ranchers. You could sell Jolly Ranchers.
Dude, you remember when they had the lightsabers that had the swirls on it with the lollipops, bro? Those things were the fucking best. I don't know what happened to them shits. Yes, the cream savers. They were the fucking best. Oh my God. I remember my stepmom used to hoard them shits in her room and I had to be good and she would give me one every day. And then I would go and I would ask her nicely and be like, can I have another one? And she'd be like, don't tell your dad, but yes. And I would just be like, this is gold. Those things were the fucking best.
Did you all have like the Pop Rockets and stuff like that? The stuff that went into your mouth.
Pop Rocks, yeah.
Pop Rock.
Yes.
Pop Rockets and stuff like that.
Go drink it with soda.
Yeah. Oh, poop, 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 poop. Yeah, man. And lastly, and this one I don't know. This might break the panel. Which one do you choose? Pop Tarts or toaster strudels?
Strudels. Toaster strudels all day.
I'm Pop-Tart.
As an adult, the strudel. As a child, Pop-Tarts would be more variety.
Yeah, I'm opposite, Nolly. I'm opposite. As a child, strudel all day, but as an adult, I like putting my Pop-Tarts like only the s'mores kind in the toaster, getting them nice and crisp, ripping the edges off, and just eating it in the middle of it.
Yes, that is
not
correct.
It's so good. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself a cold glass of milk with that shit too. God damn, it's a whole.
But to me, it's that brown sugar cinnamon, the brown sugar cinnamon, because toaster strudel is the better pastry. It is the superior pastry, but ain't but 1, 2 I don't know the different flavors of toaster strudel because they didn't come after like Pop-Tart.
Apple.
Apple is all you need to know about.
I didn't even know they had an apple. I thought it was just like berry or strawberry. I didn't even know they had an apple.
Oh my gosh, Tiffy, try the apple. It's just apple pie. It tastes like
It's
apple
great.
pie. It's great. It's
Like,
absolutely amazing.
It's the apple pie for breakfast.
Apple pie for breakfast. It's
Damn,
great.
our blood sugar, none of us stood a chance.
Listen, all I'm saying is, adult or not, I just wish these were around when we were kids because goddamn, I fucked these things up.
Yes.
I fuck up. Listen, I am 31 years old, and you best believe my house has 2 boxes in that bitch every motherfucker. Okay.
All right. Well, listen, the snacks we could do all day, and I appreciate the combo. We might have to revisit this actually because I didn't know how passionate we were about some of these snacks. We still haven't mentioned a whole bunch of them, but I definitely want to get a question out because one of our panelists is going to have to go pretty soon. And that's the homie Steph. Now we talk about snacks, talk about a lot of things that have happened over the past few weeks. There's no real way to segue to this. Some of them include Cat Williams, Monique, and stuff like that. And all this stuff is happening on this new podcast called Club Shay Shay. Shay Shay is starting to become the new Barbara Walters. Like everybody's spilling all their deets on Shay Shay. And earlier we had a quick question. I wondered, Steph, do you want to ask your question or?
I do. It's been a while since we've had a Steph Ray question of the day. I think it's about
Let's do it.
time we circled back. So I will give y'all some time. If you have if you have time to come back to this at the end of the show, feel free, or maybe we'll jump into it next week. I do have my answer locked and loaded, ready to go. But the question I pose to you is, who are you dying to see sit on the Club Shay Shay couch? Who do you want to hear their real tea, their personal stories, and maybe see who in the industry they might expose? Because that seems to be the trend of what is happening on the Shannon Sharp show these days. And I will tell y'all right off the bat, my answer, I want to see Megan Thee Stallion on the Club Shay Shay couch, because I feel like she knows some things. I know she knows some things. And I love Meg. I fully support Meg. Anybody who doesn't can take a long walk of short pier. But I would love to see her on that show and hear some more of her truths. Yeah. Tiffy, talk to us.
And you could just leave that Meg picture up if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay. I absolutely will.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
But to me, it's not an individual. I would like for him to have some of these people back at the same time. I'm tired of the he said, she said, and I believe the people he's had on there, but rather than responding on Twitter and, man, we just got to move on and these people are so hurt. No, let's all get in the room at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's
Messy.
it's the same energy. I don't know if anyone here was Charmed fans, but at MegaCon, Shannon Doherty and
I was there.
Prue and Paige were at a panel. They had the panel and they were basically speaking on Phoebe, on Alyssa Milano, and what a bully she was back in the day. And they had their statements on their stage, and Alyssa Milano was at a separate, different panel, and she said her little piece separately. And I'm like, if y'all don't fucking meet in the dinner hall and have this out like fucking adults, get in the same room. So Club Shay Shay. I want them in there. Say, get Monique, get Kat, get Kevin, get Steve, get them in in real time. That's what I want to see.
We'll host you here. So y'all don't have to be in the same place physically. Just come on our show virtually. Everybody join the StreamYard. You know what I mean? Kat, Monique, Steve, this is an official invitation. We can hash it out. Healing in the Black community, February. Come join us on New Blurred Order.
I love it. But you mentioned something about, and I think that's a good question. Let me just reiterate that question. The question is that Steph has. The question for Steph is, who would you like to see on the Club Shay Shay couch? I love Tiffy's answer. I love the idea of a Royal Rumble event in the Club Shay Shay. But hey, maybe we revisit this at the end of the show. Maybe we bring it back next week. But this is one hell of a Steph Ray question of the day. I have a question for you, Steph, real quick though. You did mention Meg Thee Stallion. Have you heard her song that she was talking about? A certain other
His
yes.
Megan's Law, like that's what about. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
That old lady crying.
Right. The Nikki stans are out there doxing people and losing their shit. So I'm like, oh, but what have I started? Like, but I'm such a Meg fan, and anybody who doesn't like Meg, I don't like them either.
Wow.
So I will stand in that business. I just love her. Like, she just seems so genuine. She really speaks her mind. Like, she's dealt with so much shit in the industry and kept her head up. And she's a nerd. She's one of us. She is our people. Like, Meg, this is not the first time I've issued the invitation, but please come on the show. We would love to just have a talk with you. If that's cool. Yeah, I would. I'm a fan.
I would love that as well. Tiffy, you share the same feelings about Meg. Did you hear his as well?
I did. And I are we talking about just Hiss in general, or anything specific about Hiss, or just our thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, just I guess where I'd like to go is just how it is to be represented by Meg Thee Stallion, and if she let her colors of nerd fly in the song Hiss and stuff like that.
Oh, specifically. Oh, yeah. And I think that Megan has always been great for that. I love that Megan, just as a nerd, exists, and she is so dope in everything that she does and the references that she pulls in. And and Omar, y'all have the shirt, The Pretty Girls Love Anime. Yep. I love that shit. I love that she is such a hot girl. She's a hottie, and that she's also a nerd, because we've been telling y'all that we are out here, we exist. And to me, it's so funny when people try to check her for her nerd card, because it's like, you can't take that from her. You can't just do the sheer in the narrative that some people have created in their head, Black women are not nerds and pretty girls are not nerds. So when you have a talented, pretty, beautiful Black woman that's so nerdy that she has incorporated it into her professional rap career, I think it's great every time. Maybe it's an anime that I haven't seen, so sometimes I have to do some research to understand the reference, but just the fact that she exists as a Black female nerd and she is not ashamed about it, I love it every single time. My list of cosplays I would like to see her in just continues to grow. And if she ever does join the show, I will just respectfully present that and be like, here's your schedule of cosplay. Honestly, if you need help with any of the with this, just let me know. I'm here for you, Megan. Like, that's all that people want and need.
Yeah. I personally was late to the Meg train, but when I started learning about her scholastic achievements, like I love it when a rapper still finishes college. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't talk about that. J. Cole is one of those. And now Meg Thee Stallion was like, nah, bump that. I'm still getting my degree. And she also was like, you know what? I am a damn nerd. I'm going to come out and I'm going to pop off. You're going to see me in my cosplays. I'm going to represent for the culture. And yes, you got damn right. Like they say in Black Nerd Partner, look, pretty girls cosplay, all that good stuff, man. So she's getting some love right now. She has been in the Marvel Universe. We saw her in everybody's favorite show, She-Hulk. And it looks like she's also going to be in Mean Girls. So yeah, Meg, we here. We waiting on you. What's good? Omar, did you have any thoughts? And any other ladies, did y'all have any thoughts on his and on Meg in general, just as a stand?
I'll go to women first. I'll go after.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Natalie. Oh, shoot. You're on mute.
She left nothing unsaid.
Okay,
which is great because she was quiet for a long time, obviously with everything that happened with that midget. You know, first it was, did she even get shot, and now we're all step on your good foot. Okay, so which is it? Did she get shot or not? Because now y'all talking in circles and looking real dumb. Make up your fucking mind. You know what? She was patient. She played the long game, and she delivered. She delivered. And I'm here for all of it. And she's such a great freaking person. Like, okay, she got her degree. She's funded a whole health clinic. She's got a whole foundation for mental health called Bad Bitches Have Bad Days too. Like, she is amazing. I just don't understand how anyone could be like, I hate her. Why? What did she do? She loves the anime. She's huge on battling mental health stigmas. She puts her money where her mouth is. What is the problem here? Okay, what is the problem?
I don't see any problem. Meg fan, Yaz, listen to it. I know.
Not really big on rap music. I mean,
yeah, I know you're not really big into rap.
So that about me. Like, I do like her music. It's just, some of it's kind of vulgar for me. So I'm just like, it's too much at sometimes. But yeah, no, she's a lyricist, and I respect her true for her craft and how she throws just shade, but in like nerdy ways. Like that is like it's I don't know, it's beautiful. I like the way her. And I don't know, I just don't listen to a lot of rap music, so that's the only thing.
Yeah, I know that about you, yeah. So I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but Omar, can we kind of delve into the complexities that we noticed in his?
I was gonna talk about her nerd shit, man. She reminds me of Donald Glover, because Donald Glover came out and he was like, he told but didn't show. There was one concert where they dressed up like summer camp counselors because the album was camp, but he knew he was like a nerd because he talked about all the nerd references and everything like that. Meg doesn't really. She'll have some anime references and things like that, but she shows it more with the cosplays and everything like that, and like outside the booth where she's talking about rapping and things like that. So it's hard to not even hard, but it's like I can't. I'm sure women will know better than I do, but I think the last Black nerd girl representation we had like that, I think, to Missy Elliott in the Mega Man video, Sock It To Me, where she was dressed like Mega Man, and Little Kim was dressed like fucking Proto Man, and the Brat was in there too. I think that's a custom character, but that's just in image, but it's a nerd reference, and they had the water level and shit like that. But Meg owns each and everything now, so I'm sure there's other rappers too that maybe they don't have the mainstream of that, and they are big into cosplay and anime shit like that. But to see her in the mainstream doing that is that's that's fucking like it's outstanding. Like that's really truly like outstanding. And also like I think like Myra Monkhouse like as a black nerd girl as well, like from throwbacks. So like to me, Meg and that has she's become the new not the new Myra, but like she's become the new staple of that. And boys, girls, and everyone's gonna grow up and see like her as that like that giant staple from their childhood as well. Like that's like it's we didn't see that in the 90s like that. You didn't see it like that. Like up until now. It's just it's that's amazing. And I love that she shows it. She tells it, but she shows it more.
And I love even like with newer ones like Flyana Boss.
Yes.
Not necessarily being like nerdy about specific franchises or titles, but they're weird. And I love that. Like she wears elf ear. One of them wears elf ears with every outfit. And I'm just like, man, we used to have to hide that type of nerdiness. Like you used to have to wear your little elf ears in secret. You know, people wouldn't know that you were into fairies and things like that. And like, so to see, especially to be like an older person, seeing like someone younger come in with that level of confidence and like, yeah, I'm gonna wear my elf ears and I'm gonna achieve fame while wearing them. Like, that's just like, yes, go. Like, oh my God, it's beautiful to see. So I love seeing that shit.
I love it too. And I'm glad that we finally do get some good, solid representation, especially as it pertains to the women. Because, you know, we kind of had like Lupe and, you know, Kid. We had some off-brand, you know, folks. But I'm glad that we're now up in the game when it comes to prominent women rappers. Because I know there's also some other rappers that don't get as much, you know, Rhapsody and stuff like that.
Jean Grey. Jean Grey.
There's a lot that don't get the notoriety I believe that they're worthy of. So shout out to Meg and shout out to these outfits and these cosplays. They're ridiculous. Steph, thanks for holding on. I don't know how long you can stay, but I appreciate you for sticking by a little longer than you expected. So if you can stick here, great. If not, she's blowing kisses. Okay, well, we will take your Steph Ray question of the day into consideration. But thank you so much as always, Steph. We will see you later. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let Steph face to the background and enjoy the rest of her busy day. But I am still curious about you guys and some of the things that we may have or have not saw this week. As I discussed in the beginning, something did break this week. We did. I know everybody doesn't watch it, but we did actually have the official premiere of Halo this week. I didn't see it, but it did come out, so I'm just bringing it up. But another show came on that we did briefly speak on. I just wanted to kind of touch on it because some of us have had a chance to see it since it did break, and that is, of course, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith I don't even want to call this a reboot, but the show that was released on Amazon Prime. I know everybody here hasn't seen it, but a couple of us have had an opportunity to see it, and I just wanted to see if maybe we can expound on our feelings of it. Now, Ty, I think you've seen it, right? Is Ty frozen or is he just really happy? Ty is.
I might be frozen.
Ty, this is the look of content.
No, do it voice of God style. Do it voice of God style. Why should we watch this? Do it voice of God style.
Yo, all right. Well, Ty, look, we can still hear you, brother, but I did get a chance to watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You as well. Quickly, before we move on to something, just want to hear what your thoughts on the show.
I'll keep it real simple. If you are a fan of Atlanta, then this is a bona fide Atlanta with spies, or assassins, or whatever Mr. and Mrs. Smith's roles are. Because I know that they do some jobs, so I would assume they're assassins. I don't know that they are spies. They haven't really alluded to what the organization is. But it like Atlanta was a really good, well-written show. This show has the same director, same producers, same everything, pretty much. So yeah, if that gives you any insight, if you're a fan of Atlanta, you'll like this. You'll be a fan of it.
It's Hiro Murai doing the directing for this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love him. He's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. So what I'll say, just for those who may be curious about the show, is that this is not okay. This is what I'm going to try to call a mild spoiler. I'm not going to give away the show, but at least just to give you an idea of what not to expect. This is not Donald Glover and this young lady reprising the role of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Okay, this is not a remake of that movie. In fact, it expands that world so that you can understand how Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie can exist in the same world as a Donald Glover and his counterpart. So don't think of this as a reboot as much as it kind of being more of an expansion, more of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith multiverse to an extent, maybe going a little bit far with that. But what you get out of this is a funny action thriller. All right. First thing that came to my mind, all right, it would have been nice if these were two black people, if this was a black couple. I'm gonna keep it real. That dream couple we saw with Sterling K. Brown and Nicole Bahari, I would have liked to see. I'm not gonna lie. For the first 3 episodes, it was hard for me to focus on the fact that it wasn't a black couple, and I feel like I was robbed of the opportunity to have a black couple be at the forefront. By episode 3, I was all in. The young lady, I'm sorry, her name's escaping me. Ty, if you remember. But this young lady right here, she did the job she was hired for. It's not her. I mean, I don't want to say it's her fault, but it's not her fault she was hired. I do prefer it had been a black woman. But if they're going to go this route, she at least is a great actress who was able to hold this down. And Donald Glover's character as well is also very, very fascinating. He's got a lot of different things he's dealing with. The complexities of this, you kind of get to watch a couple and what it means to be thrust into a situation that you weren't necessarily familiar with and how to run with it. I personally recommend it. I think that most people will be surprised that it's not as bad as you may think it is if you can step back from the fact that it's not Angelina Jolie. This isn't about two beautiful people who are spies and the on-scene romance that buds as a result, which ultimately superseded, in my opinion, the prominence of the Mr. and Mrs. Smith film. I think it was more about the fact that Brad and Angelina forged a relationship and then he left Jennifer Aniston as a result. But I solidly stand behind this project, and I think that we're definitely going to see a season 2. But it does look like Atlanta, and it feels like Atlanta, but funnier with more guns and more action. What's up, Omar?
Maya Erskine is her last name, or maybe it's Erskine.
Yeah,
maybe
like
Maya Erskine.
Yeah. So that's what that is. I don't know if anybody is curious or has any questions about this or not, but yeah, it. I think if you give it 1 episode, you'll know whether or not you're gonna like it or not. All right. So other than that, I did have another project that has been pitched and hasn't necessarily been started yet, like in terms of production, but somebody did mention to me that evidently there may be on the books a potential movie, a live action Gargoyles movie. Did anybody here watch Gargoyles growing up? Were we Gargoyles fans? Are we big Gargoyles fans? Okay, I was a huge Gargoyles fan. The dude who voiced the lead gargoyle, oh my god, like I forget, wasn't he the same? Like he voiced like, yeah, like the voice is so majestic, and like I'm just very, very curious. Which of us, I'm gonna take this down, and could you just raise your hand if you're excited about a Gargoyles movie? I'm gonna take it down right now in 3, 2, 1. Absolute. Okay, we're lukewarm on it. Okay, not really big. What Tiffy per se is it that makes you lukewarm about it? Would you not be excited that Gargoyles coming to the theater?
I guess it just depends on how it looks. I'm not against it. I haven't seen anything about it to make myself excited. So it's just if it exists, that's cool. I would want it to be as dark and kind of crazy as Lovecraft Country, because Gargoyles was terrifying and it was supposed to be dark and like gritty. So I would just hope that they kept that essence of it, as far as just like make this shit terrifying just because. And if you are trying to, don't do it to appeal to today's audience. Appeal to the people that grew up with Gargoyles and are adults now. So don't make it a kid's project to appeal to today's children. Make it appeal to us, but just keep in mind that we're grown. So make it, that's what I would want to see from it.
Are you kind of thinking like, did you see that fan fiction Power Rangers reboot where they like had the blood in it and the strippers and all that? Did you see that? Now y'all didn't see that? Okay. Are we just hoping that a Gargoyles live action is more adult themed by the plot? Or are we talking like bloody and more violent and just terrifying in general? Like what will define the adult nature of the movie, if you will?
Violence, blood. This was all very terrifying. The fact that it takes place at night because it has to like make that terrifying and gritty and dark and all of those things.
Okay, I love it. I love it. What's up? Did I see another hand go up? I'm so sorry. I was doing something else. Um,
I would say just for if Greg Weisman, the creator, has to be involved with me. Has to be, yeah, he has to be involved with me. Yeah, he has to be involved with me. That's what I'm saying. Greg Weisman, the creator, has to be involved with the project for me to get into it. Like he has to be writing it or has to do the screenplay of it because that dude's because he's the one that did the series. He's the one that made Elisa Maza fucking native when not the way he wrote him as actual characters and shit like that. Like he's the one that put diversity in the show and like outside of the show. You can see him on Twitter. My man fucking he walks it like he fucking talks it. Like folks are talking about like racist shit. Like no, and and as a white dude like really like standing on like it wasn't like pandering. It wasn't like for showing shit. Like no, I really think these progressive stuff, and I'll fucking call you a dumb fuck right here on that shit. Like not arrogant about it. Like he is who he says he is. So I'd want either his blessing with the shit, or I'd want him in that writer's room or leading that writer's room because it's his fucking project. Like if he rocks it, then I'm like, okay, then I'll try it. But like because the way he wrote, like he's like a fucking Al Ewing the way he wrote. Like nah, like his writing is that strong that like I don't know if I can get into it without him being a part of it.
okay. Ty, Nolly, in that order. Interested in a Gargoyles live action movie or project?
I don't know. Not really, because I don't really see this being what we would need it to be in order for me to enjoy it, because it's a horror movie. It would be considered under that genre as a horror movie, and I don't see them if they're going to go live action comparing it to the Gargoyles cartoon. Then I don't see them going full gore and everything like that. And yeah, gargoyles are not that interesting to me. They're statues that come alive at some point, and they return to statues at once daytime comes. So at any given time you can go break that statue and end all gargoyles. So I don't it's just not it's that whole theme to me just doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not
Nolly?
impressed.
I'm the same. It has to be done right. Gargoyles has a special place in my childhood, and I am tired of people ruining things, and so I'm skeptical, but also naively hopeful. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I for some reason I have a good feeling about this project. I get a feeling that we might be surprised. The main factor for me is two things. Oh, the main factors for me are two things. A, the plot, what it's about. B, CGI. It probably should be in the reverse order because if the CGI is trash, it's obvious it's not going to be a good project. So hopefully whoever is running production and if it's a showrunner on that project knows what the fuck they doing, because we can't have another She-Hulk type of debacle. I think
I
that's
would
what
say
it's
not
doing.
even to go CGI. If like with this, you can find there are some really 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 good makeup artists out there in the
True.
world that do a very good job and are very good at what they do. If you are going to do this, you don't have to go CGI with this. This is not. These are gargoyles. Like these
Right,
are not. These are not like She-Hulk and all of that. You could literally just I've seen some horror movies where the makeup artists earn their buck, and I think you could probably do the same thing with gargoyles.
Okay, all right. I hope so. I do hope so. I think that this should be a good project if they put their foot into it. Moving along from other projects, this is something that I'm extremely excited about. This is a project that will be hitting theaters as of next week on Valentine's Day. And obviously, I'm talking about none other than the one and only Madam Web, which is set to be released next week. I'm so geeked up, and I'm going to tell you right now, I will admit right here on the air that I have done a full 180 on this movie. I first started talking trash because I was like, who the fuck asked for a Madam Web? Nobody. But after seeing the plot, man, after seeing what they got coming in this movie, I'm excited, and I got a really, really good reason to be excited. If you look at this photo, you might notice on the far left side, there is a young lady in a Spider-Woman suit, well, depending on your right or my left, in an afro that looks kind of like Yes. Hey, Yes, remember when Yes had the outfit on? Yes. And who was Yes dressed up when she did this outfit? it was none other than the Valerie the Librarian. I am just curious because I haven't really done all of the, I haven't researched that much, but is this possibly us getting an intro to the one and only very first Spider-Woman in the Marvel comics, even though it was with just a, a different type of edition, the Electric Company? Are we seeing the origin story for the actual first Spider-Woman, which was a black woman, Valerie the Librarian, in this depiction of the Madam Web characters? It's got me really geeked up, guys. This most recent trailer really has given us the fact that it's going to be like this is basically a woman Spider-Woman movie. It's a Spider-Woman movie, and I mean it's got me geeked up. There's melanin involved. We've got some Latin flavor. We've got some chocolate flavor, and I'm just like really, really excited because I know it's not going to be all about Dakota Johnson's version of Madam Web, who I never thought made any sense. Now, Omar, you're a Marvel reader guy. Does this give you any more excitement? Or are you still kind of like, I ain't really looking forward to it?
Because it's Sony, it's really hard to put your faith in it. But I'm like, I always hope that things do well. I see they're taking from, I think it's Spider-Man, it's either the other or I don't know what it's titled, but like when Morlun shows up and they're using Ezekiel, who was actually helping Peter, he's the one hunting them down, unless he's a precursor to something worse, which is cool. So I'm like, all right, at least maybe they're starting to take elements of the comic books. Like I see the way they're changing it up. But like, nah, it's all women led. Like, all right, this is cool. I hope it does. I want to hope it does well, is all. But like, and it looks like, I mean, she looks like Valerie, but also maybe that's the beginning of Jessica Drew as well. And I like that, like, yo, we're showing all three Spider-Women, Spider-Girls too. I mean, even if it's not great, they're doing what DC didn't when they shut down that Batgirl. They shut down Batgirl, right? Batgirl's Universe July. So at least like, hey, maybe it's not great, but at least we're fucking trying something. We're fucking trying, and like I don't know. Yeah, and that's all women can't, like, not really since like what the Marvels was like the first, and that's all on Marvel side was all like first all women. It's like, all right, Sony's doing it now. Cool. This should be a trend that continues on as well.
So does that give you any? I mean, so Sony is the reason we're skeptical, right? Because Sony has been known, Ty and Yaz, to fuck up a good project. Venom 1 and 2, if need be.
1 and 2.
So Yaz, any new excitement then, Ty, about this particular project, and then let us know, man. What's now that we know what it's looking like.
I don't know. I'm definitely excited to see like who the character, as the black woman plays. I'm excited to see who she's going to be. But I'm definitely, I don't know. I think it's going to be different because like we're obviously obsessed with Spider-Man. I mean, how many Spider-Man movies do we have? You know what I'm saying? No offense, Vince. I know that's your guy, but I'm just saying. But like, it's nice to see Spider-Man as a woman.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like it's women, it's not men. So I don't know. It's going to be. I think it's going to hit a little different, and there's going to be some hate. But also there's going to be a new crowd of people to like it as well. So I feel like maybe Sony might be onto something if they can give us a good storyline with what we got. So I guess we'll see, because Sony is it's literally a hit or miss, and most of the time it misses. Like 95% of the time it misses. So yeah, we'll see.
I take it.
I mean,
like 95.
Her design. Sorry to cut it. Her design looks like Valerie, but she's Maddie Franklin, who's J. Jonah Jameson's niece.
Yeah,
that's the name of the. Yeah. No. I mean, no, but like she looks like that. She looks like Valerie. Yeah. She looks like, and Maddie is she's white, but like she looks like Valerie. So it looks like she's modeled after Valerie, but she's Maddie Franklin, and they have Anya Corazon in this as well too. So like that's why I was like, damn, ooh, my heart. But I mean, still brown, so it's still great.
But Omar, it's the second time that they've done that, in my opinion. They did the Jessica Drew modeled after Valerie the Librarian, in my opinion, in the Across the Spider-Verse movie where she was voiced by Issa Rae. And now we're doing a different why don't they just fucking give us Valerie the Librarian? Like, I don't know.
I'll give you the look of her. You get the look.
I don't think they found the right depiction of her yet. You know what I'm saying? Like actress wise, you know what I'm saying? And story wise, like how to like bring her in, because we have, like I said, we have so many different Spider-Man stories, and you know what I'm saying? So like how, like with Madam Web, I'm wondering like, is this going to coincide with any of, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that's going on in any of the Spider-Man movies? You know what I mean? Like I have so many questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen? Like, is anything going to be connected at all, other than, you know, obviously Jameson? You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm excited to see what this movie is going to be about and how they're going to deliver it.
Yeah. Ty, what do you think? And by the way, I think that. Well, I'll wait. You give us what you think, Ty, and then I'll respond to what Yas said.
I think it's simple. Sony does some, when it comes to cinematography, they have some of the best cinematography. It's the storyline that usually pulls their whole production. And I think it's the same thing with Warner Brothers. Like so like I'm my skepticism is the same as Omar's. You wish and hope that it will be a good movie. Visually, I think it will be good, but when it comes down to storyline and who's writing and everything like that, Sony has consistently kind of dropped the ball on that. And until they show us that they can, you know, that they've turned the, you know, made that turn, then I'm gonna be right here with everybody else, just like, you know what I mean, until I see something better. And Warner Brothers, the same thing. I like as long as they got their hands in the pot when it comes to stuff, I'm just gonna be like,
I like this take that Blevins has. Sony is wasting his helping. Come on, man, it ain't that bad.
In the rights to it, isn't that why Sony keeps doing that?
Yes, Sony originally had the rights back before Marvel had Marvel Studios. Sony just wanted to get their pictures out there, and Blade was one of the first out there. And then Sony was like, okay, this shit works. Who's the most popular character in the Marvel universe? Spider-Man. Okay, we want the rights to that guy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why Marvel, as the studios came into production, started to focus on some of the lesser known but more less popular but more known characters. Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America. We knew who they were, but did anybody, like, honestly, in our neighborhood dress up as Captain America? I don't know, probably not. But I'm still curious, Nolly, and then maybe Tiffy, if you don't mind. What are your thoughts now on the prospect of now a prominent woman-led Spider-Man team? Is this give you any reason to be more excited about this project or no? Nolly, then Tiffy, if you don't mind.
No.
All right, Tiffy.
It's Sony. Like, it's a waste.
Please keep it 100. Please. All right, I'll take that. Tiffy, same thing, same question.
Straw Hat Goofy made a video recently, and he made a good point in it, in that if you go see this movie with the intention just to have fun, then you could have a good time. And I actually really like that, because I'm just like, well, yeah. If you go into some movies without this, like, well, it needs to hit this mark and it needs to do this, and it needs to have this deep message about the state of humanity, and like, no, or we could just have fun at movies. So maybe this movie will be a good time. I was not going to go see it. Now I have an opportunity to be hosted to go see it. So I will. And I will, and I like that, because it's like I can give my honest opinion about it. I don't have to say or do anything except be honest. And now I don't have to pay for it. So before that, I still don't think that would have been enough to make me go see it, especially because, like, it's kind of exhausting getting involved in, like, with movies like these, because on one hand, it's going to get review bombed because it's women led, and because there are prominent, like, are there women of color in, like, prominent roles? That's just the reality. People see that as the cast line up, and it brings out the hate. It's women. Some of those women are brown. I fucking hate it. Like, it makes them go crazy. They'll put that, no matter how good or bad the movie is. Let's say the movie is great. They won't ever admit it. And then they'll put it under the, oh, it's Sony. Oh, it didn't do this. They'll find every reason under the sun to hide their misogyny or their racism. It kind of gets exhausting after a while, because even if you express that you like something, there's going to be a crowd of people to be like, no, it's woke and it's this and that. Like, so excited is I'm out. It's so hard to be excited about something sometimes.
Can you also talk about how the cast thought they were going to be involved in the Spider-Verse multiverse of Spider-Man?
the cast thought that they were going to be involved with a Marvel Studios film, like in the MCU. So they sign on thinking that they're joining this big old family of movies that could lead to possibly like more jobs down the line. And then they discover that, no, you're not in the MCU. The characters and it's all complicated, but you're over here with us at Sony. And I know you wanted the pizza party, but we got Hot Pockets. So that's why Bad Bunny left the project, because he thought he was joining the MCU, and then it turns out that he's not. So I don't know if it's happened enough, because part of you wants to be like, man, these ignorant actors don't even know, which I'm like, first of all, chill, because it's hard for the general public to be like, is it MCU? Is it Sony? And Sony relies on it. And it's happened with enough people to where you're like, I think that they're not necessarily being, that's kind of funny, Sony. What's happening where this consistently is happening with your actors, where they don't know what universe, what world they're joining? Something's breaking down in the communication process. And I just think that's kind of interesting. Sony knows they don't have the winning, I'm not even into this like that, but I feel like Sony knows they don't have the winning spider people. And they kind of have to rely on tricking either the actors or the general public sometimes into these films. What's that? And I'm not a Spider-Man girl. Vulcan, is that the old white man?
Vulture.
Thank you.
Different project.
Right. So, but didn't they have him in a teaser for something, and it turns out that he was just in like an after credit scene or something like that?
Yes.
Like,
he was in Morbius.
He was at the end of
Morbius.
Yeah. So moves like that, you're even pulling in people from the MCU world and kind of allowing it to these lines to be crossed. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. I'm not saying people should boycott the movie or anything. It's just interesting. It's just interesting to me. That's all.
That is a fascinating fact that they thought that they were going into the MCU. And then they pulled the okie doke on him, and Bad Bunny was like, "Oh, hold on, no, Poppy."
And if you're like, man, they wouldn't lie to people. Remember Halle Berry, as much as we want her to hold the L for Storm in the 2000 X-Men, Bryan Singer was not honest with her about what role Storm was going to have. Gave her a completely different script, and when she was signed on, he said, all right, now that we got the we can they kept it pushing. So yes, it's just the math ain't math. It's happening enough times now where it's like, everybody ain't dumb now. Like,
I got you. I have a different take from the people who were sounds like they were bamboozled. I'm definitely way off the mainstream here, but I think that Sony is in the works of creating a credible Sony universe, and I think that they finally learned from their mistakes. And they're reeling in folks. That's why we saw Tom Holland and Venom in a Tom Holland movie. That's why we saw Michael Keaton as the Vulture in a Venom movie. That's why we saw Venom at the end scene in Across the Spider-Verse. It's starting to merge. And with this Madam Web movie, what they're doing smartly is they're introducing 3 new characters that aren't even in the title of the movie. So after this movie, they can continue to flourish. The one thing that I really hated about Sony is the fact that they always thought that Peter Parker was the only fucking Spider-Man. There's so many fucking Spider-Man in the world of Spider-Man that they don't have to focus on just Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Now we have Jessica Sweeney, whatever the young lady's name is. Yes, not Sweeney Todd. Not Sweeney Todd. The actress lady. The lady in the middle. I forget her name. Everybody loves her though. Sydney, whatever. Now we've got this young lady developing her own character of notoriety in the Sonyverse. And I believe this will give credence to more Spider. We can get a Ben Reilly. We can get a what's up, Omar? What's
I just got the Sweeney Todd because Sydney Sweeney. I was like, Sweeney. Oh, sorry. I'll mute myself. Sorry.
Nah, it's cool. Yeah,
he's letting that laughter fly. Wow.
By the way, one of the few musicals that actually was worth watching, Johnny Depp's version of Sweeney Todd. I don't know if anybody else has seen that, but side note. But yeah, I also want to fight back on this concept that I know I know I'm the probably biggest Spider-Man guy on the panel, but I want to fight back on this concept that all Sony movies with Spider-Man have sucked. Okay, don't act like you wasn't excited
Live
about
action.
that. Okay, all right.
Doesn't that go to show? Doesn't that go to show that like why do you allow this there? Like the story is so good. Why can't you do the story over here as well? It's just. And I'm not. Maybe y'all need to stop with the live actions and just go with the
animated shit, right? But before I concede that, I am one of the few people who still like the Amazing Spider-Man series. Yes, 2 didn't hit as hard as 1, but the swing sequences cannot be denied. Jamie Foxx did the best he could with as Max with Electro. And I didn't even mind the additional newer Green Goblin, although I do think they should bring us the Hobgoblin at some point. What's up, Tiffy?
Are those movies considered bad? Because I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they are considered bad for sure. Yes. Like a lot of people, they have so much hate on them. It's like not even funny. But Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, people don't even associate him.
I loved him as Spider-Man.
I liked him better than Tony.
But like they really like they hate on him so bad. Him and Emma Stone is Gwen Stacy. They're like, oh, thank God she died. Like it's fucked up. You have no idea.
The movie was
the hate is bad.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't see Tiffy. That's why we didn't get an Amazing Spider-Man 3. But there have been talks on the internet about bringing Andrew Garfield back to finish up that Amazing Spider-Man trilogy. And that's why I think that Sony may be turning the corner here. You know what I'm saying? Like by finally understanding that what the MCU did by world building, they're now doing it within their own universe. Now they fucked up with Venom. I'm just going to tell you, look, Tom Hardy, I love you. You was good as Bane, but those scripts was trash and Venom is way scarier. Part 1 was better than Part 2, but Carnage was shat on. And Cletus Cassidy should not have been Woody Harrelson. I'm sorry. I love Woody Harrelson. Sorry. Y'all gonna let me get my Spider-Man ran out. But for this particular project, I truly believe that this, even though I 100% agree with Tiffy, it's going to get bombed. It's going to get review bombed. It's going to get the hate, the woke, where's the blah, blah, blah. But once people finally see it, when it hits the streaming services, once it shows up on, Apple TV or wherever the fuck it does, we're going to be like, yo, this movie wasn't even that bad. I cannot see it being that bad because nobody wants it. There's no expectations for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just hope that this is an ushering of a new era with Sony where they finally realize Peter Parker is not the only Spider-Man. Yes, he's OG Spider-Man, but there's so many others, including the women of Spider-Women. I mean, of the Spider-Man universe, including, we haven't even got to the kids. There's kids Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just forget.
That's very interesting knowing that, because I do a panel and I think I've done it 3 times now. And on the panel, and I forget this man's name, Paul S. Newman, I think, but he was the executor of Jack Kirby's estate. So it's really cool to be able to interview with him and sit on a panel. But the last time, him and I kind of got into a back and forth about Spider-Man specifically and characters like Miles Morales. Yes. And I just thought his whole thing was just like, why take Spider-Man and create this different version of him rather than creating a new character? And I knew enough about Spider-Man to be like, that doesn't seem right, because his whole thing is like, well, Jack Kirby wouldn't have liked that. And my thing is just like, that doesn't seem right. And I did not have the knowledge to back it up. And so I didn't say anything, but now I know why. And it's like, because Peter Parker isn't the only Spider-Man, and they did create other Spider people. Like, it's not that they took like Peter and switched him. Like, I'm sorry, light bulbs are going off. And I was just booked to host this panel again with this man. And I'm like, I'm about to light you up, old man.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, this doesn't, my spidey senses are tingling. Like, something is wrong here, but I don't have the knowledge to support it. Now that's that missing piece.
Let's Tiffy, let's cram the night before, like it's for a final exam, all right? And let's get you ready to go ahead and fire off facts, because even his
you remember last year.
I can't wait for it. Well, listen, definitely give him that read, man, because he deserves it. Because even in his era, there was a Black Spider-Woman, like I said, well before they started making their live action debuts. So fuck what the fuck he's saying. And thank you, Brian Bendis, even though he's a white man, for giving us Miles Morales and allowing us to bask in that essence of melanin in the Spider-Man universe. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Don't forget, if you have watched and you like what you saw, please share, comment, and tell a friend to pull up next week. Shout out to everybody watching on Black Nerd Problems too, man. Thanks to Omar for allowing us to talk to y'all, and thanks for everybody for tuning in this way. Thanks to Tippy, Nolly, Omar, Ty, and yes, even Steph, who had to leave a little early, and you who's sitting there watching from whatever screen that is you're watching in. Thank you so much for tuning in as you do on a weekly basis. If you ain't, why not? Pull up, man. This is where we are. And check us out on the replay on YouTube as well. And as we always say, be your authentic self, because if you ain't being yourself, you're being fake. Check us out on the Twitches. We might be playing some games later. And if you a real geek, go ahead, let that geek flag fly.
I love the new Blurred Order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10P Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except 9 got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass lizard with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean so he always got home.